left, which I could have used if I kept him behind until turn 11. I tried my best, and then yeah, he cut the grass to get in my way, and got past me, which I don't think is that clean, but it is what it is.
So there you have it. Of course, all this GTC Racing Cup and Super Cup action is proudly brought to you by Dunlop and SKF. And what amazing live footage has been here today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Remember, please do like and share this live feed as far and wide as possible. The beauty about it is you can always go back whenever you like and watch the racing action from today during your own time. It's right there on Facebook. It will always be there on the Extreme Festival of Motoring page and on the VW Racing page. So look out for it there. So Greg's just climbed back in the commentary van here, and a little bit of drama on the warm-up lap there for Andre van Rooyen, who stopped here on the warm-up lap in turn number 3.
Michael van Rooyen, yeah, with a bit of issues to be sorted out. Looks like a bit of issues in the background for our camera crew too. A couple of guys getting in the way of the shots that we need. Just catching my breath and just seeing as
what
well.
Happened? I didn't hear quite what happened there with Leighton
wasn't too happy. He said he's probably going to have a word with the COC, but he doesn't think it was a clean and fair manoeuvre that was pulled on him.
Yep.
Understandably, you can see it from the footage.
Yep.
So Dario could be in a bit of trouble there. He might not get the second place. He might have to give up that second place to Leighton.
Yeah.
Because that's probably what the penalty would be, I would assume.
Yes, yeah.
Because everybody else that was in the mix there doesn't really feature. They were too far back to get to be involved in that little incident. Clinton was ecstatic with the victory.
Nice.
That'll definitely close up the championship between himself and Dario Busi, but of course still a long way to go, and there's still some races to happen this season. Mandla Ndakani on the front row. That's a bit of pressure onto the young man in his first outing in global touring.
Who's that? Car number 21?
Car 21, yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't Van Rooyen then with the problems. It was
Ndakani.
Yeah, Ndakani then stopped. So it was Ndakani. Sorry, I thought it was Van Rooyen, but it's actually Ndakani that had the problems. He literally parked up. They were about to load it on the trailer, and then all of a sudden one of the team members came rushing past, maybe just
fired it up
reset,
and
got it going, and he's made his way to that pole position, in effect, if you like to call it, next to. So the rolling start there. So good to see that he's back there. The Super Cup cars just a little bit further back. The cars with all the work to do are those VWs.
Yeah. With the reverse grid, they've got a lot of work to do now, so let's see if they get it all right. It's Toyotas on the front row, Toyotas on the second row, and then third row, it's, of course, Volkswagen GTIs. Daniel Rowe taking a victory, Keegan Masters taking a victory, and the hammer gets dropped by Robert Volk, who looks to leave the rest of the pack. Jeff Kruger getting the start as well down into turn 1 and leading out the Super Cup category. So Ndakani loses out pole position, drops to third, into the clutches of the two GTI 8s there of number 1, Keegan Masters, and number 4, Daniel Rowe, and already pressure being applied onto the back end of Mandla Ndakani.
Looked like Ndakani just let Van Rooyen go there. I think doing a teammate a favour there. He's just letting them carry on. I think he knows he hasn't got the pace, or there's something maybe internally wrong with that car. Four-wheel drifting.
Both SMD exotic cars out of shape there into turn 3.
You're Van Rooyen getting very close to the back there of Robert Volk, and here comes the second. Ndakani's fighting back here. And on the inside, Daniel Rowe just forcing his way through. That's going to get nasty.
There you go. There's a Toyota Corolla onto the dirt.
A bit of rally car.
Almost straight into the lens of, I think it was Tony Alves on the outside of that corner there. Getting eaten up by Ndakani's Toyota. He's now into the thick of Andre Besaidnout, who, of course, will probably be about 4th or 5th on track for Team Perfect Circle in the Super Cup class, depending on where he started up, of course, with that inverted grid. So right now it's Volk. He's ahead of Van Rooyen ahead of Masters, and then Daniel Rowe, as you said, just getting a little niggly and up close and personal there with Mandla Ndakani as they came into turn 5, the triple left-hander.
Yeah, that's cost Daniel Rowe though big time, because he's pretty much out of this battle now for the top 3. Masters trying to close in on the 2 Toyota Corolla cars just ahead of him, but Van Rooyen all over the back, plastered all over the back of that car of Robert Volk coming onto the back straight there. Jeff Kruger still ahead of Liebenberg as the rest of the field come onto the back straight there. There's Ndakani still trying to fight his way through the field down the back straight then for the first time in real anger.
As they come down on the braking point, it's Kruger going to be late on the brakes. As you saw and heard on the interview, if you watched race number 2, Brad Liebenberg said that clean air at the start of the race is vital.
Yeah.
And it helps you out so much, and it's exactly what Jeff Kruger's got now, that clean air to get away from Brad Liebenberg. Campos in the mix there ahead of Ndakani. Ndakani will have a slightly more amount of power, particularly on the straight. Will go past Campos, no issues at all. Campos looks like he's actually got ahead of Andre Besaidnout as well, so there might be a change up there between Besaidnout's Team Perfect Circle car and the Campos Transport and Turn 1 car of Jason Campos. It'll be the first time that Campos has got through there on Andre Besaidnout, so maybe a turnaround there between the two of them. Daniel Rowe now starting to make up the ground onto the back end of the field that he lost early on in the race after that little incident with himself and Ndakani, but at this point, it's a battle royal between the two Toyotas.
Sure, this is like formation flying here between the two Toyotas out front. Van Rooyen doing everything he can, and in his rearview mirror he'll see that VW Volkswagen racing car there of Keegan Masters just trying to close the gap. Is he going to be close enough here? You could see Robert Volk just forcing him around the outside, saying if you want to go on the inside, I'm going to close that line. That is going to sacrifice drive coming out of the hairpin, and Van Rooyen tries to square it up. It's going to be side by side here. This is where it all went horribly wrong, and Van Rooyen just ran out of room there.
Yeah, he had to back out of that, others would have gone right underneath the splitter at the back of that car. And probably going to become a diffuser for that machine, because there's not a lot of downforce in the back of those cars, even though they run the wings. And now coming into the bottom end of the dog bone, it's allowed Keegan Masters to close up. So the battle between the two Toyotas, instead of working together to get away from Volkswagen and give Toyota their first victory of the season, they're fighting too hard, and it's allowing the Volkswagens to close up.
Yeah, they should actually be looking at that. We know that the pace that Robert Walker's got, he showed it in the first two races. A little bit of bad luck off Van Rooyen, or one of the Toyotas out front, just in the dirt for a long time. It looks like Van Rooyen has got himself set up in the slipstream, but again, Robert Volk just holds that inside line, not allowing him. This is where Van Rooyen got it wrong in race number 2. He went farming. Yeah, oh, it's side by side again. And these Toyotas are literally almost handing it on a plate to the VW. Now shuts the door. Daniel Rowe is now back into the mix now.
And Keegan
This is
Masters
not Polo Cup,
onto
is
the
it?
dirt. Keegan Masters onto the dirt.
Jeez.
Showing that GTI's got a little bit of an appeal for the dirty stuff as well as the clean
It's
stuff.
not rally cars, lads.
Yeah, no, this is definitely not rally cross cars. This
Yeah,
is
please.
global touring cars. Let's keep it on the black stuff, between the white lines if possible, so you don't get into trouble with the COC. Right now, Robert Volk just using that to a slight advantage, pulls about a car length over Michael Van Rooyen after that late braking maneuver he tried. Van Rooyen straight back at him. Van Rooyen is on fire here. The Rustenburg Rocket is definitely looking for a chance now to get through and possibly get ahead of Robert Volk, his stablemate in Toyota, but of course rival in the championship.
Yeah, look how close. Who's going to try? I was going to say there's not going to be enough room there. Volk will surely close that line. That's exactly what he's doing. Van Rooyen is getting held up here, actually. He's trying to find a way past. He knows he's got extra pace, so the two Toyotas are really just bashing themselves apart here, and the VW is unable to take full advantage just yet. Keegan Masters was the biggest loser there because he's dropped out, or as I say, that he's closed out on the brakes going into the hairpin. Oh, Campos getting at 3 wheels all lit up. Oh, a nice little piece of driving there. Lovely
Great
stuff.
job. 3-wheel through turn 5, the triple left-hander, with Besaidnout closing down on him. I was just about to say, though, when we went to that shot of Michael Van Rooyen, he was looking for an inside line, and that was the same line that we saw the incident between Mdekani and Rowe. So it might not work out, that one. You've got to try and find another way through. Here comes Keegan Masters, though. He's in the mix, and Daniel Rowe's back in it, too. 2 Toyota Corollas and 2 Golf GTI 8s in the mix. Here comes the move from Masters. How's that for late braking?
Whoa, he came from Brakpan to make that move on the inside. Brilliant stuff there from the VW driver. Keegan Masters does not want to get embroiled with this. Let's see, Toyota Corolla versus VW GTI. The Corolla right in the slipstream. He's going to try and go around the outside again. We know that doesn't work, Van Rooyen, so please. He's going to run wide.
He's going to do exactly what you tell him not to.
Yeah.
There you go. So the Rustenburg Rocket tucks into third place. It's now Toyota GTI Corolla versus Volkswagen, Corolla versus Volkswagen. 4 of these cars going at it.
Man.
This is a big welcome return to a full season of global touring cars. New cars on track here. A brand new Corolla for the Team Gazoo Racing cars. And, of course, now out front, Robert Volk for Chemical Logistics, doing a superb job in his debut in a new machine and new livery. And, of course, a brand new brand for him, too.
Can you imagine, Greg, when BMWs and Audis are thrown into this mix? It's going to be what Global Touring Cars has promised for so many years now.
How's this little fight, though?
This is a really good little... look who's got to the front of it.
Mdekani's got the head of the SupaCup cars, but Jeff Krug is giving him a run for his money.
I want that seat of yours, and I'm going to show you what I can do in my SupaCup car. Good little recovery, though, from Mdekani. Couldn't have been easy getting past those cars.
Yeah, particularly in a big fight like they are. You know, always easy when you come up on a back block, he's on his own, he'll give you a bit of room and he'll allow you. But if they're fighting, it's not going to be so easy.
Not going to happen easily. Down into the braking marker, Van Rooyen very late. Look at the front end of that Corolla, just dive down under hard braking. This is allowing Robert Volk just to extend that lead ever so slightly. Keegan Masters doing everything he can to not only close down the gap on Robert Volk, but also keep Michael Van Rooyen, the very aggressive Michael Van Rooyen. He's looked very tasty. Made the mistake in race number 2, and I think he's trying to make amends for that now. I think he got very frustrated early on, had a bit more pace than Robert Volk out front, and now he finds himself in 3rd place, and if he's not careful, Daniel Rowe is waiting to pounce there. It's been a good debut outing for the new VW cars, showing exactly what they are going to be worth. And bring on your BMWs and Audis. They are ready to go racing.
Nice little battle here as well, continuing as it has been all day long between Campos and Besaidnote. First time that Jason Campos has now got the upper hand on Andre Besaidnote from Team Perfect Circle. But the Motul and Hack Racing car there with Besaidnote at the wheel, definitely not going to give up that race by the time the checkered flag comes out. He'll definitely have a go on Jason Campos. Back to the front as we come into the chicane. The Dunlop shod cars here across the line for another lap of action in Global Touring Cars. And the Toyota, Volkswagen, even spread between them. Although Daniel Rose lost a little bit of ground to those first three on that last pass.
This has been a really good advert for the Global Touring Cars today so far. This is exactly what we wanted, what we expected from this championship. And VW have come in, Toyota have come in with a big name, and they've come in and they've made a big statement here today, and they are putting themselves right in the mix. A little bit further back in the Super, it is still Jeffrey Kruger just ahead of Brad Liebenberg. Liebenberg was fast the last lap around. Sol Heck just behind them. Jonathan Mkhotsi there in 9th place overall, but just outside the top 3 in the Super Cup class.
SMD Exotics car there of Sean Dumley finding some pace here in this last race too, as opposed to what we saw earlier in the day. He was battling a little bit, so looks like Leroy Poulter and the team have got to grips with that car and got some extra pace for Sean Dumley. Speaking of extra pace,
they're closing up again now.
Here we go. Van Rooyen around the outside of Masters into the hairpin at 6. Watch for the cutback.
Don't do it, Michael. Don't do it.
There he goes. Cutback. He's going on the inside line. Can he squeeze him out? Oh, he's going to be very close there. The two of them side by side through the little switchback. And Masters onto the dirt. Masters onto the dirt and comes up on the inside there. So very tight stuff. It's a right-hander into a left-hander. And Van Rooyen's out of shape. And there's a problem on the GTI.
Yep.
The GTI's got a problem. Something's blown on that GTI. And you can see big smoke coming out of the back of it. Hopefully not dropping any fluid onto the circuit. If that's the case, we'll certainly see whether or not Daniel Rowe is affected by it. But Keegan Masters pulls to the sideline. He's actually can't see. There's smoke inside the cockpit as well. So some big issues there for Keegan Masters as he comes off the circuit and parks it on the exit of the Dogbone. Masters engulfed with smoke there from whatever went wrong in the car. And he climbs out, and certainly not the way he wanted to finish up this one. He was just in a big fight there with Michael Van Rooyen, but the pressure and a little bit of off-track excursion cost him there dearly.
I was going to say, I saw a couple of little puffs of smoke a couple of laps prior to that, but you kind of just, you see that sometimes from these global touring cars, but that car's, something's gone wrong in a big way in that car. Jeffrey Kruger still out front in the Super Cup class. I'm just trying to see Liebenberg still in second. I couldn't quite see who was in second there. Sol Hack doing a brilliant job. Another top 3 there. Mkhotsi just behind them. Jason Campos looking much better on his return. Andre Besaidnote in a good dive. Duemini, like you said, coming through. Here is now the battle at the front end. It is still Robert Volk out front. Michael Van Rooyen almost bullied his way into second place with the demise there of Keegan Masters. And Daniel Van Rooyen.
Rooyen off track as well. So yeah, I think what you're seeing right now is the demise of the tyres, Rob.
Yeah.
They've had 3 heats of racing. It's been epic racing, and now, of course, those Dunlops are crying out, going, "Listen, I don't have much more to give you." Yeah. And I think they're starting to feel the effects of that. So it looks like this is a team effort. Remember, this is Kyle Longme, SWAT Corps, and Red Star Marshals all combined. It's great to see them all getting together and doing a job at every single one of the circuits now. And of course, they'll get that car out of harm's way as quickly as possible. Possibility of a safety car I thought of, but because of where the car is in the length of the lap, they may get the car out of harm's way before they need to call for safety car. So we'll wait and see if that's going to be the case. If there is a safety car issue, of course, that'll probably bring the race to an end under safety car, which is why they're probably holding back as long as they can not to bring that safety car out.
Yellow flag, the yellow flag, double wave yellow.
Double wave yellows into the bottom there. That's why we got a yellow flag on top there. It's due to the fact that we had marshals and, of course, assistants on the sideline to try and remove that car out of harm's way. And a good job yet again by the marshals to get it out of the way just in time for Robert Volk to come through.
I wonder if there was like a bit of fire involved there, because the fire extinguishers are out and Keegan pulled up to the side because of the smoke and the vision, but it could have been getting very hot in that cockpit. On board here now with Sol Heck, car number 88. Another good drive there from him as we go back to our leaders. Is that Daniel Rowe trying to make a move on the inside going into the
last chicane? He's having a look at Michael Van Rooyen, but I don't think he's close enough just yet. Van Rooyen may be under threat on this last pass, because I think we're about to start the final lap. I'm just waiting for that. No, still 2 to go. 2 to go, I think I have to say. I can't see on the lap counter at the moment because we've got yellow flag still up on the top there. But Daniel Rowe now closing on Van Rooyen and trying to maybe spoil the day there for a Toyota 1-2. We had a Volkswagen 1-2 earlier on. We've had a Volkswagen and Toyota 1-2. And now we're looking for a Toyota 1-2 to finish up the day. That'll be an even mix between those manufacturers.
That'll be a brilliant day in the seat, especially for Robert Volk, who unfortunately DNF'd in race number 1 with those tyre issues, having hit something on the track. To come back and podium in race 2 and to put on the top step in race number 3, first time out really in that Toyota Corolla machine. That'll be a hell of a day, and Toyota will be looking at this and going, we very, very, it's a lot of money committed, so you put that money in to get results. So to see this, I think we'll see Toyota putting a little bit more in, knowing that they can challenge at the sharp end.
3-race format's going to give Jeff Kruger a possibility of taking the lead in the championship with 2 wins over Bradley Liebenberg's 1. Saul Hack will definitely close down into second place, or onto second place with Brad Liebenberg with 3 third places here today. Consistent driving coming out of him for Team Perfect Circle. And then Jonathan Mahotsi in 4th place will be sitting in 4th in the championship as we kick into the second round here of SupaCup. Right now, Global Touring Car is going to be sorted out. We have got 2 to go. It's a lap and a half to go where they are now into the dog bones. Campos and Besaidnout still going at it, and Andre Besaidnout applying pressure, and you can see Campos starting to feel the effects of that pressure as well. Slightly different lines coming out of Campos there out of turn 5. Definitely not the line he would be using usually through that corner.
Right, for the penultimate time then, Robert Volk onto the highway back straight. Van Rooyen still has not let go of his coattails. Looks like Daniel Rowe is out of this battle, heading into the final lap as they cross the line now for the last time. It looks like he's not going to be close enough. It's going to be between the 2 Toyota machines, and it's about brand honours here now. Van Rooyen will want to pick up the first win for Toyota, as will Robert Volk. So this is going to go into the final. Look at Van Rooyen. He's got a serious turn of pace going into this final lap.
Late braking from Rooyen closes right onto the back wing there of the Toyota Corolla in front of him with the last lap board out. They start that final lap of anger and of action here today at Red Star Raceway. And late braking from Robert Volk means the pressure's on. And here goes Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen dives at the inside. Can he ever go? He has a big look there, but Volk just shuts the door. Very lucky to survive that one was Robert Volk, but look at that. The pressure keeps on, and it just gets applied more and more from the Gazoo Racing Toyota Corolla of Michael Van Rooyen. The Rustenburg rocket all over the back end of Robert Volk. This is going to be an epic fight, and something goes wrong. Daniel Rowe, race 1 winner, waiting to pick up any of those Toyota pieces.
Oh, he's locked it up. He's not going to stop that. Is he going to? Here comes Van Rooyen. He's going to just old school, just put it in his face. It's going to be a
onto the grass.
Oh, man.
The grass. Here comes the GTR at the inside for second, and Robert Volk has gone from 1st to 3rd. He makes a mistake locking up. He runs wide. Van Rooyen helps him off the circuit, keeping the race line.
Tires, you said it.
He's not going to give up. He's not going to give a position when he runs wide like that. Will Michael Van Rooyen? If you've got a car that's gone off onto your left-hand side and you want to come back on, you're going to have to go slamming into the side of him, which is why Robert Volk backed out of that one and has dropped into 3rd place.
He's got no tires left. I don't think he's got any tires left. Locking up twice.
He's battling with brakes as well. Yeah, you can see locking those brakes up.
Exactly. And we've said it all along in these tricky conditions. A lap ago I said Daniel Rowe was out of this. Look where he is right now. He's going to head onto the back straight. He could slipstream and make a pass. Van Rooyen is desperate to get a win here. We've seen him just put his absolute heart out on the line here today. So this will be a brilliant drive if he can hang on to it. The best sitting out there, Keegan Masters, having a look at this, urging on his teammate to try and get one over Toyota.
Down in the flay, waiting for his teammate to possibly take the victory. Sitting on the sideline, unhappy with where he's ended up, but certainly going to be happy if his teammate can take the victory here over Michael Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen gets good drive onto the back straight. I don't think Daniel Rowe is close enough to have a go here. Even if he has a push to pass, there's not going to be enough time for him to close in. If Michael Van Rooyen doesn't lock it up and spin out like he did in race 2, the race win is going to be his. And Team Toyota Gazoo Racing is going to have their first victory of 2020 in the hands of Michael Van Rooyen as he comes across the line. The flag is out, and it's the Rustenburg Rocket to take the victory here at Red Star Raceway. And round 1 of Global Touring Cars. What an even spread. Yeah. 1 for Rowe, 1 for Masters, 1 for Van Rooyen. Those are your championship rivals in Global Touring Car this year. We still got to sort out our Global Touring Car SupaCup category. That's Jeff Kruger going into the final chicane. 2nd place, Brad Liebenberg at the moment on his tail pieces. And as he comes through there, you can see the gap just enough there for Jeff Kruger to hang on. Kruger will take the lead of the championship, having won 2 out of 3 for today. It was 1 for 1 coming in here, so even Steven on the points coming into this round. Brad Liebenberg will be in 2nd place. And of course, Saul Hack in Team Perfect Circle and the Hack Racing Polo there. An incredible job. He will hang on for 3rd place in this championship now, ahead of Jonathan Mahotsi.
Brilliant stuff. I'm so keen as Greg Maloney makes his way down to the podium for the final time today. Can't wait to hear what certainly Robert Volk has to say, because it did look like he just ran out of either tires or brakes heading into that final lap. Did everything oh so right, and then went into that final lap and unfortunately just couldn't hang on to it. Did everything he could, got it all kinds of locked up going into turn number 4. First of all, started all in turn number 1, couldn't get that Toyota of his stopped, and then had to sacrifice the lead. Brilliant driving there from Michael Van Rooyen, who just shoved it on the inside and just cut the line off there of Robert Volk, who had no answer, and that allowed Daniel Rowe right into the mix. And what an advert it has been today from the GTC Cup drivers. It really has just highlighted what an impressive class this is and can be going forward. And like I said, just wait until we throw those Audis and BMWs into the mix with the Toyota and the VWs. It is going to be world-class racing and brilliant stuff from the GTC Cup category. So really excited for that. You can see the marshals showing their appreciation for what was an absolute humdinger of a race. World-class performance there. Unfortunately, Keegan Masters, good sportsmanship there. You can see just clapping thumbs up there from Masters. So brilliant sportsmanship there. Unfortunately, problems in the VW of his in the closing stages of that race. But good to see that he's out of the car and everything is okay. Just get that VW back. It's been a good introduction for VW and for Toyota. Mdekani, he gets up into 4th place there after starting from pole position. He had some kind of issue in that Toyota of his from the word go, and just got forced a little bit wide. I think it was by Masters on that opening lap, and just never really recovered to get into the fight for that top 3. And it really was just that. It was an almighty battle from the likes of Van Rooyen, Daniel Rowe, Keegan Masters, and of course Robert Volk, who unfortunately just subsided on that final lap, but eventually did end up in 3rd place. So I'm really keen to hear what those drivers have to say down for the final time in pit lane with Greg Maloney. It's been an awesome day's racing. I hope you really enjoyed the live coverage that we've brought you here today. A big thank you to all our camera crew, to our directors, everyone involved for making this happen, because even though we are suffering with the pandemic that's going on, we're still going to do our absolute utmost best to bring you as close as possible to the racing action as we can. And I think we did that today with the live stream that we had going. It's been incredible racing here at Red Star Raceway, as always. It's been an incredible atmosphere. Greg Maloney is there down waiting in pit lane for our top 3 drivers in both the GTC and SupaCup categories to get down there and have a chat with them. Really keen to hear what those drivers have to say from another incredible race. 3 races on the day in that Global Touring Car Championship. So really impressed with that. It's been an epic day's racing. Unfortunately, because of the COVID-19 regulations, no real prize giving. It's literally just pack up and go straight home without being able to celebrate with our drivers. But they all deserve a massive pat on the back for the racing action that we've seen here today. It's been absolutely epic.
This is exactly the way you wanted to have something happen on the weekend. It took you to the last race of the day, but certainly showing what the Toyota's got for this championship for 2020.
Yes, we had some issues in race 1 and 2. The Golfs were quick all weekend, but eventually I think we got it together in race 3 and we could show some pace for a race long. It was a battle, though. It felt like a UFC match rather than a race, but it was good fun, and it was difficult towards the end. It was a bit like driving on ice. I think all of our tyres were finished, and but it was good fun.
Looking forward to PE?
Yes, definitely. I think the cars are very closely matched. I think it's going to be a lot closer affair there. Everyone knows that circuit very well, so we'll have to pull out all the stops there and give it our best.
Awesome job. We're going to ask Rob to jump in as well. Fellow stablemate and first time out in the Toyota brand, Robbie, for you. It was a tough start to the day with that puncture, but of course you turned it around and nearly went from 0 to hero.
Yeah, I mean, we had a good second race. Unfortunately, the right front was going on the car. I mean, it almost dilapidated the point where I think it was about to go itself. So at 1 or 2, pretty much on the last lap, there was no front grip. It was locking. I thought it was going to implode at one point. So just had nothing to fight against Michael. It just didn't want to turn. So it's unfortunate, but I suppose we'll look as to why it happened and move forward from there.
Change of brand certainly has looked pretty spectacular for you as well, from BMW to Toyota. But I think the Toyotas are going to be a big contender.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the car's fantastic. WCT have built a fantastic car. We struggled a little bit this weekend, but it's a strange circuit, I suppose, compared to what we're used to. So P is more what we're used to. So I think we should be strong there.
Awesome stuff. We're going to ask Jeff to jump in here as well. Second race win, Jeff. That's 2 out of 3 for the day, which means you'll take the lead in the championship for SupaCup. You must be pretty ecstatic with that and the team's result.
Yeah, what can I say? A great day out today at Red Star. 2 wins in the second. We can't complain about that. So, no, very happy. But all credit to the team. They did an excellent job on the car the whole weekend. Like I said, we battled the whole day yesterday to find an ideal setup for the 3 races today. And I think we nailed it on the head. So, big thank you to them. Couldn't have done it without them.